It is a journey through the Bible with Mukhwana Isaac. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We thank God for the gift of life, for journeying with us. Yesterday, we looked at David, the ideal king, and we also saw again an example of a God who chooses or choosing whom he wants. Today, we continue looking at David. But of course, David saving Israel from Goliath. The Philistines were again attacking the Israelites. Among the Philistines was a giant of a man named Goliath. He used to come out every day and offer to fight an Israelite, but none dared to fight him. One day, David came to visit three of his brothers who were in army, and he offered to fight Goliath with some small stones, a sling. He went to Goliath and said to him, "You come to me with a sword and with a spear and with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defiled." We read this in 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 45. This is the answer that men and women of all times should give when dangers and difficulties surround them. Faith and trust in our God united to determine, yes, actually it united to determine and courageous, of course, action are the attitude of a Christian life. David struck Goliath on the forehead with a stone. Yes, when Goliath fell, David cut off his head with the giant's own sword. The Philistines fled away, and the Israelites were again saved. It is very important to put your trust in God. Sometimes when we are faced with trials, with danger, look for solutions outside the circle where God is. Solutions outside church. We go to the witch doctors. Those ones we think they are knowledgeable. They have divine powers. They have ended up doing the contrary, disappointing us. David said, "You come to me with a sword and with a spear and with a javelin, but I come to you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defiled." Have you ever thought of doing likewise to your enemies? That someone does something to you, but for you, you know you have one who will repay, one who will attack on your behalf. This man David was so loved, but again he was hated by Saul. After this event of killing Goliath, Saul made David a leader in his army. Remember yesterday we saw God anointing David as king of Israel while Saul lived. He had been rejected, but he did not quit being a king. Once, actually, this man who was put in the army to be the leader. At the same time, David could also play the lyre well, and for a time, he made Saul forget his unhappiness at being rejected by God and Samuel. And in fact, Saul loved David. But soon after David had shown his bravery in fighting the Philistines and had become well liked by the people, Saul became jealous. He now becomes jealous of David. Saul had the women praising David more than he. For they sang, Saul has slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. We read this in 1 Samuel chapter 18 verse 7. After this, Saul tried several times to kill David. Once David was playing the lyre, Saul threw his spear at him, intending to kill him, but David jumped aside and escaped. Other attempts were made to kill him, so David had to flee. Whenever Saul learned where David was hiding, he would chase after him with the soldiers but failed to capture him. Twice David could easily have killed Saul, but he had mercy on his army and respected him as being a man chosen by God to be king. 1 Samuel chapter 24 verse 26. Leave the anointed ones of God. Sometimes you say this person is doing A, B, C, D. We have attacked priests innocently. Leave them. You have no right over them. You have no right over their life. The anointed ones of God. Yes. Saul then met the Philistines in the battle in the plain of Esdren. And at Esdraelon, his army was defeated and beaten back into Mountain Gilboa. Saul himself was badly wounded. He thought it would he thought it a dishonor to have to die by the hands of the enemy, and so he killed himself with his own sword. Thus ended the sad life of Israel's first king Saul. And tomorrow we shall look at the friendship of David and Jonathan. Jonathan was a son to Saul. Yes, to Saul. His father hated David, but like, comment, share, and subscribe.